Welcome back, everybody. Please like, follow, share. Let's do a reading about what your person is up to, what their life is like, what they're concentrating on, things of that nature. Let's get into their heads. These won't come out, but all right. I'll take these two. Whatever. Let's see what happens. Let's see what they say. This could be a person of I don't know, any age right now. Let's just say whatever your person is. Let's take a look. Okay, so there's an obscurity here. I think they're missing you. I feel like the light has gone. This is kind of a miscellaneous card just called Light that's in this deck. I feel like they miss you. They miss the kind of the banter that you guys would do. And he's really hanging on. It's almost like he's mourning a little bit. He's hanging on to the idea of you and them. He or she, they, I guess I should say PC here. They keep thinking of all the times that they fucked up, and they're really, really hoping. I think they're trying to channel you. When they think about you, you do actually remember them. So, in the case of channeling versus manifesting, it's different. And, you know, sometimes when you're just thinking about a person out of the blue, it just kind of like taps you on the shoulder. It's just like, here's something totally irrelevant about this person you should not be thinking of right now. You know, it's true that I feel like this person is thinking about you, but they're not how to explain this? They're using the thoughts of, I am so sorry this happened. I am so sorry. I wish I could have changed things. And that mode of them thinking about that is what's channeling you. Okay, so they're feeling really, really bad about what happened, extremely bad. And when they feel bad, they channel you. You see what I mean? That's the difference between like manifestation. When manifestation's like most people say, oh, he's manifesting you, but that's not what's happening. What he's actually thinking of the times where he feels kind of ashamed of what he did either to you, and he's not letting it go. He's not letting it go. That in turn is channeling you. Okay. He says he's gone away, but I don't believe him for 1 second. I think he feels connected to you in his head. He tells himself that he's moved on, and by all means it looks like they've moved on. Okay. He talks about you in a way it's like, oh yeah, that happened, and you know, he doesn't speak badly of you at all, just so you know that. He comes off as if you are, he is your true friend, or they are your true friend. I think this is a guy. This is a guy. I'm just going to say it's a guy because it's definitely a guy. It's not a woman. I don't feel it as a woman. If it's a woman, then she's very masculine. I myself come off very masculine in readings, so it has nothing to do with sexuality. I'm a straight woman, and I come off as a man because I feel like a man. Because of just my nature, but it's mostly out of me being very, very independent kind of person, and I don't need a man to live. This is why I come off very masculine, because I'm not in my feminine energy, and it's been like that for so long. Now, when I say they, it could be either or, but I don't get that a lot of the times. I genuinely get whether or not it's a man or a woman. Okay, so it doesn't go the other way a lot of the times with my reading. I usually am pretty specific. Okay, so the King of Wands. Oh boy, he's really stuck in his head about you, okay? I feel like he's more embarrassed about what he did, really, because I see, okay, so he thinks about you, you channel, or he channels you, and then in your mind, you think this guy is chaos. So he really did you wrong. He really did you wrong. He confuses you, all right? He gave you cognitive dissonance and just made you feel really shitty. He made you feel like you were being juggled between you and another person, or he was always in and out, which in this case, I'd say he was probably talking to somebody else. He's wondering if it's for both your good to move on. The problem is that I don't think you can let this person go. I feel like they're an actual friend of yours, you see? And moving, okay, it's like you were friends before, then things got, complicated. And for him, the problem with moving forward means going back to the way things used to be, and that's impossible. That's impossible. There is no going back to the way things used to be. I'm sorry. You guys are going to have to come to terms with that or have a conversation about that if you are talking. But what you do with this information I'm giving you should be considered enlightenment of your situation. I'm seeing you, I'm seeing them, I'm seeing you completely objectively. And this is what it is. It cannot go back to normal. It just won't. You have to be satisfied with how far you got with this person. Okay? You guys had enough good times to feel like you've gotten the most out of this relationship. I don't think this is the kind of relationship that lasts forever. No, it does not. This is somebody that maybe as an acquaintance, as a friend, you could have trusted, but beyond that, you cannot trust this person. No. There are things about this person, the Ten of Swords upside down, is information that you are not able to handle. You are not ready for it. It's just too much on your plate. So, see here is you have the Tower, and this here also is a bout of information. It's a huge load of information that completely knocks you off course. What you do with that information here, see the Page of Swords? What you do with that information is going to basically direct your life this way or that way. The problem is you think that you and this person are still like together and that you could still go off on the course of him, but you're not. You're not. What you do with that information, I don't know if this is just too much for you to handle from this, but the situation is clear, is that there is no healing being done here. There is no healing. Because you're still walking around with this going like, oh, I can either handle it or I will get to this information, or maybe somehow you're denying it in a way of like, oh, if I deny all these things about this person. So, I mean, all these things they did to you. I mean, it was clear from the beginning. You have the Nine of Swords here. You have the Ten of Swords upside down here. So the upside down Ten of Swords is telling me that you still have to consider something. You're still, after all of this, listen, everybody is somewhat psychic, okay? And the problem is that we think way too highly of these psychic connections. And what I mean by that is anything you see that you feel is from your spirit guide or from their spirit guide, yeah, cool. It means that he's got a psychic hold on you and you have a psychic hold on him. But this is not going anywhere. All it leads is to confusion, right? Confusion. Going forward means going back, but it won't. I pulled on this one. Come on now. The Magician. So they will continue to do this to you. Let's see. The Knight of Coins. I mean, you have the Sun here, so it is a new beginning. And then the Seven of Cups. So your spirit guide is just kind of like cutting me off. And it's saying, it really is. It's at the end. It's just, no, stop it. You're the one that has to do this consideration of who the person is, what they did to you, and the reason why you hold them in regard as the kind of person who's who's chaotic. He's upside down here, okay? He's upside down, and he's got his hands in two pots. you don't think very highly of this person. He thinks of you as a good friend. You feel like just more drawn to the fact that he is a good friend, probably to like many people, or that he has some kind of notoriety. But no, fuck it. It's girlfriend. You have to stop, because all this stuff is in your head. We know what's in his head. This is all in your head, and you know, it's little by little you have to carry on away from this person. He is not to be trusted. Not to be trusted, will cause you complications, has given you more that you've had to deal with that's not good. And here you are being so naive. The Page of Swords going, okay, now that I have this information, what do I do with it? You know, it's sad. Kind of want to pull another deck. I just got this new one. It's Gypsy Witch. Haven't really looked at it much, but extra Joker. Let's leave that in. All right, so let's see what this has to say. Queen of Wands, you must make your own strides. Wine is this is a symbol for wine. This is an interesting, the Witch's Tarot is what this is. Lightning denotes a surprise. It's basically saying, to me, if I were not to read these things, that it's about time that you really pull through for yourself. You need to move on, get over it, get your wheels turning. I don't know if you've been sedentary, but really what this is living for yourself. Here he is living for himself. This is you, the Ace of Wands, actually, how I was saying earlier. And now you're the Queen of Clubs, which wands and clubs are the same thing. Now it's saying you will be successful if you do something. The Six of Clubs is saying absolute success. And it's sudden success. And these two are the same card, the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Clubs. So back when he and you were hanging out, he should have treated you really nicely, but he didn't. He didn't. He used you. He used you over and over and over again. And as quickly as he could have made the choice to treat you well, he didn't. So what Spirit is saying to you is, as quickly as you fell in love with this person and allowed him to become chaotic and you held on to that, you need to quickly drop it, to very quickly move on. It's almost like decide to design your life. That's what they're saying. You must, because it's just chaos otherwise. This says the coffin foretells acute illness or loss of property when near the person, when distant, a probability of averting evil. Yeah, so let that warn you that you're the only one creating chaos in your own life. If you keep holding on to this person, they're holding on to you specifically. And I think it's because they just feel so bad about the things that you did not deserve. You know, they really fucked you up. All right, then. I hope this helps. Be well. If you want a reading, you can get me at redoceanqueendom@gmail.com.